Hey players, welcome to the Back to School live hangout here on YouTube. I'm super excited to do this with you guys. First, let me give you a quick little introduction. To anyone new that's watching, my name is the Josh Speaks. I give tips and advice teaching you how to be your best self. I got a lot of words in my mouth today, but I'm super excited to be here for you guys. So if you're looking for advice on how to build confidence, how to be more compassionate towards others, how to talk to others so that you feel comfortable, how to get a girlfriend, whatever is on your mind, I'm here to talk to you. Now, for the topic of going back to school, summer is coming to an end. And I know a lot of you guys are getting ready to start school again, while some of you already have started school. So I think the question on a lot of people's mind is, how do I get back into the groove of things? How do I start making friends again? How do I talk to people that I wanted to talk to, girls or guys that I like? And those are the questions I want to address today. So I'm super excited. Guys, thank you so much for tuning in, the 14 of you in there right now. What I'm going to do is I'm going to open up the video. Here so I can see the live chat as it's happening.
They said you couldn't do it.
I don't need the ad playing on my own video. So, all right, guys. So I'm looking at your comments right now. People, I bet Ronnie says I've been waiting all day for this. Awesome, Ronnie. So I'm super excited to get through you guys' questions and to do everything I can to help you guys out. So without further ado, let's get started. I'm going to start looking through some of you guys' questions. First, I want to share you a quick story about back to school and going back to school. So here's the thing. Let's get right into tips. So here, I'll tell you a quick story about, for me, what it was like going back to school in high school, for example. So every year, me and my friends would hang out the entire summer. Ryan, what's up? How you guys doing? Me and my friends would hang out the entire summer. And at the end of the summer, it was kind of a bummer. It was like, well, here we spent 10 hours a day playing video games, hanging out in the neighborhood, doing whatever we wanted, and then, here I am waking up at 6, 7 o'clock in the morning to get ready for school, which was not always as fun as hanging out, but, it's something I had to do. One thing I learned early on, as I started the new school year, was that, I always got put into classes with different kids that were mixed up, especially in high school. In most high schools, you kind of, you have all your different grades of people, let's say all 10th graders, and, people are all mixed into classes with each other. Now, there were times that I started in classes where there were very few people that I actually knew, maybe 1 or 2 people, and they weren't even sitting near me. So I kind of was sitting in the middle of a bunch of people that I don't really talk to or hang out with or know. And we just came back from the summer, and I don't really know how to talk to these people. What do I do? I felt kind of alone in that moment. So one thing that I think is so important is, and you got to think of it like this: you just spent an entire summer hanging out, playing video games, hanging out with friends, watching movies, doing interesting things. Interesting things for everyone is subjective, but interesting things, none to say the least. And the easiest question to start building some kind of connection with someone is, hey man, how's it going? How was your summer? That simple question alone, I think, is an easy fallback for so many of you. A lot of times people say like, well, I don't know how to talk to my crush, or how do I really talk to a lot of people, and I don't really know what to do. How was your summer is the quick go-to, I think. So I would recommend saying that. If you run into a situation where you're like, okay, well, how do I talk to the immediate people around me? Maybe I'm starting at a new school. Maybe I'm surrounded by kids I don't really know. Maybe I'm near my crush and this is my big break. Hey, how's it going? How was your summer? This is what I did over the summer, and share some of the things that you did too. Here's the thing. People feel comfortable when you initiate a conversation that they can easily partake into. They can easily be a part of. And how was your summer is a pretty easy conversation to go with. Everyone's kind of done something fun, a little fun throughout the summer, so it's something that they can talk about. Plus, it allows you to kind of build a little bit of a connection with them, because now they can feel like, cool, this is someone I can open up to, and if I did do something cool, I can talk to them about it, which is awesome. So I think that's generally what people want. So let's try to jump into some of your questions. That was something I learned early on in high school, that I was like, every time I start a new class, let me ask that question. Turn to the kid to my left, turn to my right, say, hey man, how's it going? How was your summer? Or if it's a girl that I like, hey, how was your summer? How was everything? It's an easy way to just start things out. Huge ass wants me to shout him out. So he's getting a shout out. Yeah. Caught my eye there with that name, but let's get into your questions, guys. So that's what we're here for, answering questions. So, oh man, they're coming in fast here. So I use Shetty. So pretty much I'm going to be streaming probably from 5 p.m. to 7 p.m. So the time zones I know are different for everyone. Maybe saying 5 p.m. kind of threw a lot of people off, but 5 p.m. to 7 p.m. So about 2 hours of answering questions is what I'm aiming for here. So that's how long the stream is going to be. So it's Des says, what happens if you like a jerk, but he's nice to you, but has a girlfriend? So this is something a question I get a lot too. People like someone who ends up having a boyfriend or girlfriend already, right? So how do you ask someone out that already has someone? And my advice is always the same thing. If the person is already in a relationship, then why be a homewrecker? Imagine this. Imagine you were going out with that person. Would you want on the side other people asking them out, or would you want hopefully people to respect that boundary? So I know that sometimes you guys have crushes on girls or girls have crushes on guys, and your first thought is, well, I like them so much, they're so cute, how do I ask them out? Even though they have a girlfriend or even though they have a boyfriend. The most important thing is to be respectful of everyone's relationships. Even if you don't like their boyfriend or girlfriend, be respectful of it, because if they break up and you've been respectful, then you can move in. But if you're disrespectful and you're kind of going behind their back, behind the boyfriend or girlfriend's back and stuff, then it's going to rub that person the wrong way. So if you like someone who is a jerk, which tends to happen a lot, sometimes people like the bad boys or the popular girls, or these kind of people that types that we cast here. People like certain types of people. But here's the thing: I think girls generally like bad boys. Because bad boys are confident in what they like and what they want to do. So I think girls generally are attracted to the confidence in the guy. So what may come off as a bad boy as like he does whatever he wants, he doesn't answer to anyone. Sometimes bad boys go into a negative path, but the real attractive quality that's there is that they're confident in what they want. Maybe they'll speak their mind. Maybe they'll talk to things. They'll start conversations. They'll initiate things. So I think the best thing for any guys that are watching, if you like a girl who's only attracted to bad boys, take the best parts of what he offers and really demonstrate it in a positive way. Meaning, be confident when you speak to them. Be a leader. Be an initiator. Start interactions. Start conversations. Find things for them to do and involve them. Those are the qualities in bad boys that girls would like. Andrew, thank you for subbing. So I'm going to quickly skim through some of these. T-Fang, what's up? Gonzalez, you're reading my comments. Say hi, Kevin G. Hi, Kevin G. H-Town Cuber, good to see you, man. All right, so let's get to some questions. Jose says, bro, I asked the girl, but she said, I don't know what to do. So I'm not really sure. She said she doesn't know. So let's say you ask the person out, and let's say you say, hey, do you want to go out with me? And they say, well, I don't know. If you get a yes, right? Let's say you ask them out and they say yes, right? That's good. Now go hang out with them. If you ask them out and they say no, maybe that's not the best feeling, but at least it's a solid answer. Okay, they don't want to go out with me, I can move on. I don't have to harp over it. I don't have to think about it day in and day out. I know they don't want to go out with me, and that's it. If you get a maybe, if you get a I don't really know, or I need more time to think, the way I see that is that that's an opportunity to continue to build some kind of connection with the person. That's like saying you go to the store and you like a t-shirt, you're not really sure, you're looking at different shirts, and the store person's like, do you want to buy this shirt? And your answer is, I don't know. What do you need in that moment? What every person needs is they need a little bit more assurance. Is this a shirt I really like? Is it a shirt I want to buy? Are there better shirts? So the store person will try to help solve that question. So for you who's asking out a person and they say, well, I don't really know, I'm not really sure, what they need is a little bit more assurance, meaning spend more time with them, talk to them, joke with them, have fun with them, give them that confidence to say, yeah, I do want to go out with you. Or maybe, no, I don't want to go out with you. But really invest a little bit more time in really building that relationship. So let's keep moving. So, okay, so to anyone new that subscribed, thank you guys for being on board here. I'm super excited to have you here, and I think this is going to be a lot of fun. I love answering your guys' questions. So, let's see. Oh, man, I'm way behind. So, how to deal with loads of homework and actually still socialize. So, this is the problem, too. Coming back from summer, starting school, getting bombarded with homework. Sometimes you get so much work and it's just so draining, and it's like you just came back from doing nothing. You don't want to jump into stuff right away. It's annoying. I get it. I've been there before. But then, you reach a point where it's like, well, how do I maintain friendships? How do I not get overwhelmed by schoolwork? And I think a simple solution for that is you have to find ways to try to segment time with your friends. And look, sometimes you're going to get a lot of schoolwork, and it is going to kind of take up most of your time. That's the crux of school. That happens sometimes. I think the best thing to do would be to say, okay, you know what? Every Wednesday night, me and my friends are going to jump on a group chat and we'll hang out, or we're going to jump on Xbox and play a game together. Or once a month or once a week, whatever it is, every Saturday we're going to go, to the movies or something like that. Try to set specific game time and plans with your friends, because then it'll be easier to plan around them. So let's say you get lots and lots of homework and it's like, I don't really know. Having a set time and plan makes it so much easier for you to say, you know what, I know I'm going to hang out with everyone on Friday, so let me really spend my time doing my homework now. Everyone will be understanding if I'm not talking for the next few days, because I'm trying to finish up all my homework so that I can make the Friday plans, So really try to prioritize and really set times to do things if you find yourself juggling a million, plans, homework, and all these different things. So oh man, a bunch of people leaving a bunch of crazy comments here. So cool style, thank you. I'm really happy you enjoy the channel. Fire alarm person, glad you made it, man. Not really, 7th grade is a fun year. Yeah, so I'll give you guys a quick rundown. I'll go through every single year and tell you my experience, just a brief understanding of my experience, but I want to get to a few more questions. How's the weather in New York? Weather's pretty fine, it's pretty warm. How do you live stream? If you go into your YouTube channel, you go to Video Manager, I think, and then you go down under to events, you can schedule a live stream like I did here. Josh, help me overcome some stuff. Cool, leave your question, I'll get to it. So Pitbull asks, do looks really matter? I think looks are a piece of a person's overall matter. Personality, inside, how comfortable they make you feel, all these different traits really make up who a person is. So looks are the first thing you see, right? Like when you spot someone, you see their looks. You don't see their personality. You don't see how fun are they to hang out with, their interests. You don't see any of that. All you see is their looks. So it's easier to kind of determine whether or not you like someone or you're interested in them based on their looks, right? That's the first thing, the basic stuff. But then we ask the question, okay, do looks really matter? So I do think looks are important. Everyone wants to be around someone that they can feel safe and comfortable with, knowing that looks weird or shady or, okay, what are you up to, man? But as you get to know a person better, you start to see their personality. Now, I'm a firm believer that a person's personality and traits really start to take over who they are in your mind when you think about them. So think about it like this. Let's say you like a girl. Or let's say, for example, let's say you like a guy, right? Let's say you're a girl that likes a guy. And you see him from a distance, you like him because he looks cute, right? That's the extent of what you know about him. But you hang out with him, you get to know him, you spend time with him, you find out he likes football, and he likes video games, and he likes music, the same music you like, and you learn all these traits about them. When you stop and think about him, chances are you're going to think about his personality first and then his looks. You're going to think, wow, we connected over this, or we talked about this, or we both laughed over this. You may envision him in your mind in terms of how he looks, but you're going to think back to his personality traits because those are the things you guys bonded and shared. So looks do matter, but I think over time as you get to know someone, personality really shines, which is why it's so important to really get to know someone, to really learn who they are, and to let your personality come out as well, because then they'll make a more informed judgment and critique of who you are and how they feel around you. You have time to do YouTube in middle school. Guys are in middle school and you want to do YouTube channels and stuff, and you might find it difficult. First thing I would do is ask your parents first. That's the most important thing. Sometimes kids just jump on YouTube, start putting themselves out there, but their parents may not feel comfortable with them on YouTube and stuff. So first ask your parents. Tell your parents, hey, this is something I want to do. I want to make videos. I want to talk about certain topics that I really like, and see if they're okay with it. In most cases, I don't see why not. As long as you show your videos to your parents and say, hey, listen, this is what I'm talking about, they'll probably encourage you. They'll probably push you to do it. And I do think it's possible to definitely do videos in middle school. You can carve out 10 minutes every week and do one video a week and just record 10 minutes, boom, get it done. Maybe another 10 minutes on another day just to edit it a little bit and then put it up on YouTube. So, it's totally possible. I'm a freshman and really nervous. Oh man, I'm way behind on this. PewDiePie thinks you suck ass, but I don't. Hey, if PewDiePie has an opinion on me and knows who I am, I think we're going. I'm in the right direction, right? Going in the right direction. How do you talk to girls in high school? Oh man, I'm way behind in the comments here. Hi from Italy. How you guys doing? Good to see everyone in here. So I saw an interesting question here. Is there any way to direct message you because it's a long story? Absolutely. So let me put this out here for any of you guys watching right now. If you want to send me a personal message, right? You want to talk to me, let's say your story or your question is something that's personal, you may not want to blast it out in the chat. You can always shoot me a message. My Snapchat is The Josh Speaks. My Instagram, The Josh Speaks, Facebook, and my email is thejoshspeaks@gmail.com. So whether you're on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, Snapchat, any of those platforms, you can always shoot me a message. I try my best to respond to every single person. So it may take me a few days or whatever it may be, but I try my best to respond to every single person. So if you have something personal you want to talk about, you can always shoot me a private message. So here's an answer. Josh says, how do I bring myself to introduce myself? So this is something too. Sometimes people are afraid that if they talk about themselves, they're going to come off like they're bragging, and they're going to look like, oh God, this guy just wants to talk about himself, and all he is obsessed with himself. So there has to be a right way and a wrong way. Not right and wrong, but a good way and a bad way kind of how you talk about yourself. For example, excuse me, I burped. If you talk about yourself as if you've accomplished things and done things that no one else can do, then yeah, I think you're bragging. But if you talk about yourself in a way where you're describing the things that you like and the things that make you happy, then you're not bragging. So when it comes to talking about yourself, for example, if I tell everyone, hey, guess what? I'm in the Olympics and I won a medal because I'm a really good swimmer. That's bragging about yourself. But if I tell everyone, growing up, I've always wanted to be part of the Olympics, and I was so happy when I finally accomplished my dream and got a gold medal. That's talking about something you like. You're not saying you're better than anyone else. You're not saying you can do anything that no one else can do. You're simply talking about the things that you like. Now, how do you just integrate that into a conversation? Like, hi, my name is this. I'm good at that. How do you do that? I think the best way is always start by asking a question. I think whenever you talk to someone for the first time, the best thing you can do is ask them a question so you can learn something about them. Now, guys, look, I've been in this situation a million times before. It's like when you want to talk to someone and you don't know them at all, what do you say? Like, you're total strangers. How do you bridge that gap? That's why I think questions are so important, because you can easily say, hey, I'm curious, what's your opinion on this? Or, hey, I'm going to try this. Do you think I should? So for example, hey guys, I haven't seen Suicide Squad yet, right? What do you guys think? Is it a good movie? Should I watch it, or should I pass it and watch it on Netflix? What should I do? I can start off with a question like that and get some opinion. I can get some feedback, because once I have a little bit of feedback, I can know a little bit more about you, and therefore I can kind of keep the conversation flowing. So for example, if you tell me, oh, I haven't seen Suicide Squad yet, but I watched the Batman versus Superman movie, I could say, oh, cool, you watched that movie? What's your favorite scene? What do you like about it? So now I can go deeper into a conversation. So if you're starting a conversation with someone, you're coming right back from school and you say, hey, how's it going, man? How was your summer? Or, something simple like that, how was your summer? And they say, oh, cool, me and my parents went to a water park, right? You can always say, oh, cool, I've never been to a water park, or I went to a water park last year. Which one did you go to? What was your favorite ride? Do you like going on water slides? You kind of keep the conversation going by really asking more questions and really sharing some insight. So I think that's a good way to lead into talking about yourself without being braggadocious. Is that a real word? Did I hear someone say that and they made it up? So what do you do if you kind of messed up your relationship with your crush? So here's the thing too. Sometimes the connection between you and your crush may fall flat, and it's bound to happen. Like, if you don't move forward, let's say you don't move to the next step, which is asking them to hang out, and you just stay in the state of, we just talk casually every single day, and I'm not trying to lead into hanging out because I'm too afraid, and she kind of got bored, So like, that can happen if you don't work to progress the relationship. So as you get to know a person better, you should feel comfortable, and it may take time, but you should be able to eventually feel comfortable saying something like, hey, listen, me and my friends are going to go do this. You should come with us. Or, hey, I wanted to check out this place, or check out this thing, or check out this movie. You should come check it out with me. You should eventually feel comfortable enough to invite them so that you can spend more one-on-one time together, So if you feel like you messed things up with your crush, it's either maybe you said something, or maybe you didn't say something. Maybe you didn't lead it to the next stage and they got bored. So it's important to really try to recognize what happened and really see how you can kind of take those steps around there. Once you understand what happened, then you can know what to do next. How do you talk to girls in high school? So here's the thing too. People sometimes hang out in cliques, right? You guys know what that's about. You know, like you got the popular kids, or you got this group of friends that all like something, or these guys who just all like each other. You know, people sometimes hang out in groups, and you may feel like, well, I like that person in the group, but I don't know any of them. So I can't just walk up to them and just talk to them and be a part of the group. That's a little weird. Water break, guys. So you can't just walk up to them and be like, hi everyone in the group, you know, I like her. You know, so it seems like a weird concept, this idea of walking up to strangers and talking to them, especially if they're in a group in high school. And you may think, well, how do I start that conversation? Or I only see her in class, how can I talk to her? But the truth of the matter is that everyone has a 1-minute window in their day. And as much as you may try to convince yourself you don't, everyone has that. And that 1-minute window is either they're walking from one class to another, they're sitting in class before it's begun, they arrive early in the day, they're hanging out with friends, they're hanging out a little bit after school. You know, everyone has at least a 1-minute window to just kind of breathe in between things that are happening. So maybe that 1-minute window, the girl goes and hangs out with her friends, and she's standing around with her friends for 5 minutes before the next class. Let's say that 1-minute window is there. If you want to be a part of that 1-minute window, you have to recognize you have to engage everyone that's involved in that circle at the time. So if the girl is, let's say, talking to a bunch of her friends, it makes sense to walk up to the group and talk to everyone in the group. So remember what I said in the beginning, hey guys, how was your summer? And hey, listen, I wanted to get you guys' opinion on something. You know, starting off with a question gives you an easy opening for our entire group. So you can say, hey guys, to all the people in the group, I want to ask each of you something. I want to get your opinion on something quick. And then run around and get everyone's opinion. Ooh, sorry. Once you have everyone's opinion on something, whatever your crush says, whether they agree with you or give you insightful advice, I would call out their stuff. So for example, let's go back to the Suicide Squad example, right? The movie. Let's say I walk up to a group and I say, hey, listen, guys, I wanted to get your opinion on something. Have any of you guys seen Suicide Squad? And let's say one person says yes, one person says no, I want to watch it. One says no, I don't care about it. You get a kind of mixture of you. Let's say your crush says, no, I never saw it, or I don't really care about it, right? That may be the lead into the conversation. You could say, oh man, you've never watched it? Well, what is your favorite movie? You know, always go back. Once you've interacted with the group and you've talked to them and you've kind of got their opinions on something, always go back to your crush in that example and then continue the conversation with them. And as you talk to them one-on-one, you can always address and respond to other people, but really keep the conversation going between you and your crush there. I think that's the best way to kind of really build that while you're standing around with other people. Josh, freshman tips. Okay, so I'll share some freshman tips. I'll sprinkle them throughout. But let's, oh man, so many questions. Please answer this. King Alex Gaming. Because I only have 10 minutes before I go to bed. What first impression should I make on my crush first year of middle school? Please help. So King Alex, if you've been watching, if you haven't watched the beginning of the stream when I put it up online, I think the best way to create a first impression is, and a simple one, is always say, hey, how was your summer? I did this over the summer. If you're in middle school, it could be an easy question, an easy way to just start talking to them. How do kids date if we can't drive yet? Water break. So how do kids date if we can't drive? So here's the thing. We have to recognize dating means something different depending on how old you are. So for example, let's say you're in the 6th grade, right? You're a 6th grader, you're a 7th grader, and you want to date someone. For you, dating may not mean going out on dates, going and doing things outside. For you, dating may be as simple as you guys text each other, maybe you guys see each other throughout the day, you hang out during lunch, and you talk online. That may be dating for a 6th or 7th grader. When you get maybe to like 10th or 11th and stuff, let's say you guys can take the bus or train to meet each other, or hang out outside, or even drive to go meet each other. Dating for you may be going places and doing things. So it's important to recognize, depending on how old you are, if you're someone who can't drive or travel out and stuff, you can still have a fun relationship where you guys date and you just talk online and text. A simple way to have a date online would be something as simple as have a video chat with each other. Both of you jump on, I guess, Google Hangout or Skype or Snapchat or something, or Facebook, something we could do a one-on-one kind of video chat and just talk with each other. Share what you did throughout the day, have fun, joke around, you know. That would be considered a date if you were in someone that was young who can't drive and travel around. So Nikki says, how to talk to people at a new school on the first day. I'm also really nervous about initiating conversation. Okay, so this is something, I have a few videos on being a new kid and starting conversations, but the number one tip I always give to kids who are starting school. So this goes out to anyone. If you're new at a school, if you're starting at a new school, you're starting at a new grade, a new place, around new people, everything is new. Any kind of situation, new. You have to recognize this. The people around you generally know that you're, let's say, for example, let's say you are a new kid at a school, right? Everyone else knows each other, but you're the new kid. Everyone is going to know that you're the new kid because they maybe never seen you before, they don't know much about you, whatever it may be. Because you're the new kid, you kind of get what I call the new kid pass, right? So I believe every new kid gets a pass where they're allowed to ask questions, they're allowed to say hi to people, they're allowed to kind of be as open as they want to, and they get the pass because they're the new kid. You know, people go, oh, well, they're new. They're just asking so they can learn. So being a new kid, being aware of that and saying, well, you know what? I'm in a new place. So, you know, so I can kind of start a conversation with someone, and no one's going to say it's weird or awkward or who is this person because I'm new. Now, let's say you are starting let's say you're starting in the sixth grade or ninth grade, and everyone is new. Now, you also have to recognize this. Because everyone is new, everyone is nervous. Every single person is going to be looking around thinking, oh, okay, I don't know anyone here. What do I do? How do I talk to them? So you being aware of that gives you the opportunity to start the conversation with them. So when you first start talking to them, right, they're going to feel relieved. They're going to be like, oh, okay, cool. This person talked to me, so I can feel more relaxed. So I would always say, if you're the new kid and you're nervous, the best way to battle your nervousness is to be the confident one. And start talking to other people first, because everyone else is going to be new and they're going to be nervous too. And if you can take control of your fear, you will help others also not be as afraid around you. King Alex, don't date in 6th grade. Mini FFA says that. I mean, look, like I said, dating varies depending on how old you are. The idea of dating. You know, so if you're in the 6th grade and you want to date, understand what dating means at your age and your level, you know. Let's see what some other people say. Falcon Confuego says, why did my crush recently start acting really awkward toward me, even though we're friends and she always knew I liked her? So here's the thing too. A lot of times when people have a crush on someone, right, they don't ever want to let them know because there's that fear of, well, if I tell them, then what if they start acting awkward, you know, which is a normal reaction. But the problem is this. Once your crush knows that you like them, and they say something to you like, oh, no, let's just be friends, or, oh, I don't really like you like that, or I see you like a brother, or any of these kind of terms, once they say that to you, I see you like a sister, once they say that to you, if you continue to be friends with them, right, then they're going to always feel awkward because the feelings are kind of still there. They know that they're there. You know that they're there. And you both are trying to pretend like they're not there, but they are. And even though you may not act on them or say them or do anything, they're still hidden. And because they're hidden, they're always going to affect how you look at that person. They're always going to affect that. So let's say your crush, who you've told that you like them and they told you we're only friends, gets a boyfriend or gets a girlfriend. You're going to feel a little jealous. You're going to feel like, oh man, that sucks. I wish that was me. Or, oh, well, why can't she see me like that? Or why can't he see me like that? You know? The awkward feelings are going to kind of always be there. And I think the crush, your crush in this case, always knows that. So it's hard for them to feel comfortable talking to you, opening up, and being open, because then they feel like, well, you still like me, and we both know that, and it's always going to affect our relationship. So the best way to get them to not feel awkward around you, I think, is to give them space. As counterintuitive as that may sound, I think it's best to give them space. Because if you allow them to kind of do their own thing and you don't maintain such a close friendship with them, it'll be easier for you to kind of move on and not worry so much about hopefully being with them. So let's see what some other guys say. So Delaney Kelly says, what do I do about fake friends that bullied me before and are trying to be friends with me again? So here's the thing too. Sometimes kids will be, by the way, is the audio good for everyone here? Can everyone hear me? Fine? I hope the audio is fine. If it's okay, just someone leave a comment and say like, yep, audio's okay, not like silent or anything like that. But when it comes to fake friends and stuff, sometimes kids they won't stop at any length to audio's good, cool. They won't stop at any length to try to be popular, to try to make friends, and sometimes that means being a jerk to other people. So I've been on the receiving end. I know what that's like. Having someone that you consider maybe a friend start acting like a jerk just so they can fit in with someone else. And now they come around and they want to be friends again. I think it's important to hold yourself to a standard where you only want people in your life that are going to treat you with respect. So the people you associate yourself with should always treat you with respect. Now, if they are someone who's just a jerk or they do something disrespectful, it's important to talk to them about that too. A lot of times we think, oh, well, this person's a jerk to me. Let me cut them off. I don't want anything to do with them. But it's important to let them know, hey, listen, you were kind of a jerk to me, or I don't like how you acted, or you were kind of rude, and this is why I don't want to be friends with you. It's important to tell them those things. Tell them how you really feel, because in telling them how you really feel about them and because of what they did, they'll hopefully learn. Whether they take that advice and move forward and do something with it, that's on them. But being honest and open about how you feel and why you're setting a barrier is very important. So let's see what else you guys got here. So I'll tell you something really quick. Let's say you're someone who's starting in the 6th grade, like I said, right? I remember when I started in 6th grade, I was terrified because it's like middle school. This is not elementary school. What the hell? This is a totally different ball game. But like I said, everyone's new and everyone's kind of a little bit nervous and they don't really know how to interact. I know for me, I spent a lot of time in the beginning of school not really talking to anyone because I didn't really know anyone and I was a little worried. And I remember sitting at lunch kind of by myself, or I think at the time we had to sit with our classes. I sat with my class and didn't really talk to anyone. Maybe I think someone eventually came up to me and talked to me, but that's why I'm saying it's so important to be that initiator, especially when you first start. So, within that first week or 2 weeks of school, it's best to be the initiator of conversations because by you starting them, you control the frame. It's easier for you to talk to people, get to know them, versus waiting for them to come to you. So in 6th grade, that was something I had to learn. Eventually, kids came up to me and started talking to me about wrestling, and I was like, oh, I love wrestling, cool. And we became friends. So that's how it kind of worked out for me when I was in the 6th grade. So Quickfinger says, hey, this isn't school related, but I'm struggling to find a part-time job and want to follow my dreams and make music. Could you give me some advice on what to do? So here's the thing too. So struggling to find a part-time job and you want to follow his dreams, make music. So a lot of time, I bit my tongue. A lot of times what people do is they have a dream, something they want to accomplish, and they think, I need to dedicate myself full-time to this thing in order to accomplish it. If I'm not 100% of my music, then I'm never going to do it. But like you said, reality strikes, the laptop here. Reality strikes sometimes, and it's like, well, yeah, I want to be a musician, but I need to make money so I can live and do whatever, buy food, whatever it may be. So what I think is, try to look, so I consider this kind of a growth hack. What I would do is if you want to be a musician, try to look at people who are very, very low, who are starting. They only have a few followers, they don't really have a lot of views or plays and stuff, and follow all of those people and watch and see what they're doing to grow. Because the thing is, when you're first starting, you're learning and making all of your mistakes, right? Let's say you're first starting to make YouTube videos. You may think, oh, cool, make my video, but then you realize, you know what, I could have had better lighting, I could have had better audio, or I could have did this, or maybe I could script, and you learn all these things. By watching someone that's first beginning and allowing them to do the work and kind of just watching them, you kind of can skip a lot of those steps because you see what they improve on. So they're going through the trial and error, and you're kind of learning from their experience. That's how, so if you want to be a musician, right, what I would simply say is look at other musicians that maybe have a few followers, less than 100 on YouTube, or a few dozen or so on SoundCloud, or maybe 1 or 2 on SoundCloud, and see what they're doing. How are they promoting themselves? How are they putting their music together? How are they getting people to share their content? Watch what they're doing and see them as they grow, and then emulate those strategies in what you're doing. So that's something I think you can work towards. You don't have to say, I'm going to do everything full, follow my dream and make all the mistakes. Try your best to skip mistakes if you can, and you can learn from them without having to make the mistake. When it comes to finding a part-time job, though, I talked about this in one of my videos. If you're a teenager, I believe it's like high school and on, care.com, care.com, care.com offers tons of jobs for teens and people in college and people who are just trying to make a little bit of money. And care.com has tons of jobs that are like walking dogs, watering plants, basic things like that. Basic things like that, like people don't have time for, so they'll just pay someone to just take care of it. So it's a basic way to make a little bit of money. It's cool because you could search your area and you can kind of find local things and you can build a profile. People feel trusting in you. So that's something I think is a quick and easy way if you want to try part-time stuff. So let me try to get through a little bit more of the questions. Try to make my answers a little bit shorter. How to be better at homework. Okay, how to be better at homework. When it comes to homework can sometimes be tough. Schoolwork can be tough. I think we've all experienced that, right? Think about it, guys. Have you ever experienced a time where you're like, I totally lost in what we're learning right now and I don't get it? So we've all kind of encountered moments like that. What I think is important is to recognize when you're struggling, because a lot of times people don't. People will see that they're struggling. Ooh, I'm yawning a lot. Let's take a quick water break. People will see that they're struggling. People will see that they're struggling, and they will continue to struggle, and they'll continue to go through it without ever addressing it. That's a challenge that a lot of people have. So what I think is, if you notice that you are struggling with something, reach out for help. Look for a way to get help. So if it's something in school, let's say you're getting lots of homework and you don't know how to deal with it, try to form a study group with your friends that are in the same class so that you guys can tackle homework together. Or speak to your teacher and say, listen, I'm not really understanding the homework, or it's taking me a long time to do it. Is there a way I can maybe do some tutoring so I can move through it quicker? Try to address the problem as soon as you notice it's a problem. That's the important thing. Everyone spam dad. I'm from Brooklyn. So Reese, I saw you posted a question. I think you said something, if your mom, so Reese, I think, posted about if he doesn't pass GED, his mom, I forgot what he said. Hey guys, I see someone saying, shut up, you fat ass, you're an ass. No fighting in here, guys. You guys know this. Like, Josh Speaks, this channel, everything we do is about, oh, it might be lagging a little bit. I hope it's not lagging. Darn it. If it is, hopefully it will stop soon. Okay, I think it stopped lagging. Sorry about that, guys. If you see people saying mean things, we're not about that. We're about learning here. We're about helping each other out. So no attacking and stuff. It's not worth it, If someone asks a question and you think it's a stupid question, that's okay. No need to tell someone your question's stupid. Everyone's asking because they feel comfortable here, and I want to keep an environment where people can feel comfortable saying anything. I don't want to create one where it's like, let's shun people because we think your question's stupid or you're stupid. None of that, guys. IZ Caliber says, how can I be more consistent on how can I be more consistent on being outgoing and funny towards girls? So what I think is, you have to ask yourself, what are things that you find funny? And whatever you find funny, just put that out there. A lot of times people want to focus on, what can I say that will make other people like me? Or what can I say that'll be funny for other people? But what's really important is just acting the way that you feel comfortable with, and making little jokes here and there wherever you can about whatever you can. Not offensive jokes, but just jokes like, oh, look at that, oh, look at that. And just entertaining yourself. When you entertain yourself, when people see that this guy's just having a good time, he's just having fun, they will find you more funny. We find people more funny if they look like they're just having a good time. People who look like they're really trying to make us laugh aren't as funny because we know that they're trying to make us laugh. It isn't natural. So work on being natural by just being observational. The more observational you are, the more you look at something and say, hey, look at that. That's the shape of this. Or, well, you notice that. Or, oh, look at that. I mean, it's hard to describe observational humor, but observational humor is simply looking at the world around you and making a critique or a judgment or a understanding of something, and then bringing that into the conversation, because generally those are the things that I think could be the funniest. So Preston says, hey Preston, thanks for being in here, man. Please tell me about no friends at a new school. Yeah, so if you're at a school and you have no friends, no new friends, no. If you have no friends and you're kind of starting from scratch, like I said in the very beginning, best thing to do, start the question, turn to the kid to your left, turn to your right, and say, hey man, how's it going? How was your summer? I think that's a quick and easy way to start any kind of conversation, especially now that you guys are going back at the end of summer. So Spoonmaster says, so I'm bi and I don't know this guy's sexuality. So I mean, that could be a challenge too sometimes. So let's say you're bisexual, right? And you like someone. Let's say I guess in this case you're a guy and you like another guy, but you don't know if he likes guys. You don't know where he stands. I think the best thing to do, and this comes with liking anyone, is you have to take time to get to know them. A lot of times we want to jump into asking them out. A lot of times we want to jump into going out or jump into kissing them, whatever it may be. But you really should get to know a person better, because the better you know them, the more you'll see whether or not you guys connect. So if there's a guy you know and you don't really know his sexuality, you don't know if he might like you or he might like guys or whatever it may be, what I would simply say is ask him to hang out, spend more time with him, invite him to do things with your friends, get to know him a little bit better. And maybe you won't flat out know whether or not he likes guys or not. And that may come into you may come into a moment where you guys are hanging out one-on-one and you try to make a move or you lead into it, or something like that. But only do that after you've got to know them a lot better. Oh man, you guys can you talk about good study habits? Cool, yeah, I have a few videos on studying and how to focus on studying and do all these different things. I think when it comes to studying, like I said, the best thing to do is to segment time. So there's a technique called the Pomodoro, I think, Pomodoro timer technique, right? So what the Pomodoro technique is, do everything in sessions of 25 minutes. Because the idea is that, I think it was 25, I'm totally probably butchering this, but from what I remember, the brain can kind of focus for about 25 minutes before it wanders off. So if you spend 25 minutes sitting down, reading, studying, whatever it is, then take a 5-minute break. Walk around, do something that's totally not relevant to school at all. Go for a walk, go grab something to eat, go drink water, go wash your face, something. Then come back for another 25 minutes and do that. And keep trying to do that on and off thing. The second time, maybe go for a 7-minute or a 10-minute break. Then the third time, go for a 20-minute break. Like, increase your break time in between the 25-minute sessions, because it'll give your mind time to wind up and read and learn, and then unwind and relax. So you want to try to cycle through that. So Derek says, I'm 16 and I haven't kissed a girl yet. I'm really scared because I don't know how to kiss. What should I do? So I'm planning on doing a video, I haven't done it yet, on how to kiss a girl or how to kiss a guy. How to essentially I did a video on my first kiss, but I want to talk about how to lead into a kiss and even how to kiss. I think a lot of times we look at kissing and we think like, oh, well, how do you do it right? Or, how do you lead into it? Do I ask the girl? Do I just do it? What do I do? What I see first kisses as is it's a moment. Keep in mind, just like you start a conversation, you kiss a girl. Each piece of that is a way to get to know her better. A kiss is a way to get to know her better. Now you're going to see whether or not you guys connect physically. Kissing, seeing whether or not we enjoy this. And I think a good way to lead into that first kiss type of scenario is once you've already built up. Like I said, everything is building. Everything is small steps, and they're all building blocks. Once you've kind of spent time with them, you've hung out with them, you've got to know them a little bit better, you can then lead in, and when you're in the middle of a one-on-one conversation, you guys are joking, you're having fun, just let your conversation kind of fall silent. So be like, yeah, definitely, definitely. Let it fall silent. And look them in the eyes. And let that silence be there for like a second. And then lean in and kiss them. Sometimes they may be caught off guard and they may be like, oh, no, I'm not ready. And you say, hey, listen, I'm sorry. That's cool. I don't want to do anything that makes you feel uncomfortable right now. And you can go back to talking. But chances are that 1 second kind of silence allows you both to register, hey, we really do enjoy each other's company. And now you're trying to kiss them and, hey, let's do this and enjoy each other's company. So I think that's a good way to go into a first kiss. When it comes to the technique of kissing, A lot of people want to throw tongue in, do crazy stuff. Don't worry about any of that. Focus first on finding a good pressure and rhythm to having your lips touch, right? Sometimes people just go in and they just mash their faces together. Don't do that either. You know, it's not how hard you can kiss, it's how connected and sensual you can build that kiss to be. So focus on that above all else. So Lord Play says, how can I get an older girl to like me? So that's something I think a lot of people question and think about. You know, like, let's say you like someone who's older than you, a few years older than you, or a year older than you. And you think, well, they won't like me, I'm young, or I'm a kid, or something like that. And a lot of times it's difficult. It's difficult when you're going after someone who's older because you kind of are reaching out of your boundary here. Because they've had, I said because like 4 times in a row. Since they've had that life experience a little bit longer than you have, they may be interested in talking to people that are in the same range as them. So for example, let's say you're 15 years old and you like someone that's 18 or 19 years old, right? You may think, oh, well, I like them, they're hot, they're this, they're that, how do I talk to them? Chances are 18-year-olds are going to want to find someone within their same range who's kind of in the same type of life, who has the same type of life experience as them. Maybe they're getting ready for college or looking for a job, or things like that they're kind of also dealing with. And someone who's 15 may not be dealing with all those things, so they may not connect as well with them. So it's tough going after someone that's older. It is possible, and like I said, it's the same process. It's a matter of talking to them, getting to know them, feeling comfortable around them, hanging out with them, but it is more difficult. I will say that. Hey, so ZAIMC, Zamek, says, hey, huge ass, you have such an unfortunate name. I agree, it's a very unfortunate name. So let's jump in here. Okay, so Stormy Shao says, how do you avoid feeling guilty about someone who emotionally manipulated you? I have a class with my ex who guilt tripped me really badly. I want to be confident and not let them control my emotions. Yeah, I mean, here's the thing too. Some people only feel powerful when they kind of control the lives of other people. And realistically, that's weakness. I think we can all understand that is weak because they have so little control over themselves that they need to control someone else to feel valued. And a lot of times when people emotionally manipulate each other, that's exactly what's happening. So what I think is when you run into a situation like that, you have a class with your ex and you have to see them day to day and it hurts you and it bothers you just to see them. I think in a situation like that, you have to recognize that maybe that might be something out of your hands. You can't control that they're in your class because they're just in your class. That's how things have worked out. But what you can control is the fact that they don't have to have a stronghold over you as long as you tell yourself they're no longer part of your life. They're no longer relevant in this equation. They may try to say things, they may try to be involved, they may try to get you to fall back in line to where you were before, but it's important to tell yourself, I'm moving forward, tomorrow's a new day, and that is a piece of my life that I am moving beyond. I'm done with that part of my life. Think of it like this, that person represents a piece of your life that doesn't exist anymore. You are not there anymore, you are here. And because you're here, they have no place in being there. So keep reminding yourself you are in the present, you are in this moment, and you're not there. So as long as you don't bring them back into your present moment, then I think you should be able to push them out and move on. So, see what else is going on here. Colin, dab, bro. Everyone dab. Let's get a quick dab in there, guys. Okay, so Costa says, this year I'm finishing high school and in my country I have to study and sit for something like that, like the AST. How can I cope with stress? Yeah, so SAT probably. So yeah, guys, I mean, look, tests like the SAT and the ACT and all these big tests that everyone has to take, here's what I've learned over the years, and this is what I believe, my sense of truth. These tests are made to look like they determine the rest of our lives, right? If you do really good in the SAT, of course, you're going to go to a good college, get a good job. If you do bad, well, you're not going to go to the best college, you're going to fail, you're going to do this, you're going to do that. It's not true. It is merely a measurement of what you know in this moment. Not going forward in the future, but what you know in this moment. Sometimes you may feel like, well, I need to do well in this test or else I'm a failure. But you have to ask yourself this question. Who are you afraid of disappointing if you fail? I think that's a really important question to ask yourself. Are you afraid of parents? Are you afraid of your friends making fun of you? Letting down your family? Who are you afraid of disappointing? And I think it's important to talk to them and let them know, listen, this is something that's very stressful in my life. And the best way that you, my parent, my friends, my family can help me as I learn along the way. It's important to tell those people how you feel, that you are feeling stressed, and that the best thing they can do to help you is to be supportive and to constantly reinforce that. Because if you don't, they're just going to keep thinking, well, they need to do good. They need to do good. They're not going to stop and be understanding. They're just going to kind of push, push, push. So the best way to deal with stress is to speak to the people that you feel stressful around and let them know what they can do to support you. See, oh man, so many comments rolling in. Thank you guys again. First, I want to say thank you guys so much for being a part of this. I'm really grateful to, that you guys are sharing all your comments and we're talking, we're having fun. And I'm really happy. I mean, I really want you guys to do the best that you can when you go back to school. To me, school is important because school is a place where you can build your education, you can learn so many awesome things, and it's a place where you can socialize and get to know other people better, make friends and so on and so forth. So it's important to go back to school. I know no one's happy. No one wants to wake up early in the morning and go to school every day, but it's important to pull out those two important things. How can you socialize? How can you make friends? How can you kind of build a lifestyle where you understand people? And how can you really learn awesome stuff in school? Sometimes school teaches you a lot of interesting things, a lot of cool things you wouldn't have learned elsewhere. So it's important to not be totally dismissive of everything. Let's see what else is going on here. So Bailey says, Josh, I'm 15 and I have a long distance crush. We message and video call almost every day, and I think she might like me back. I really like her, but I'm not sure what to do. So, okay, here's the thing too. When it comes to long distance crushes, a lot of times, if the relationship starts long distance, it's a lot tougher to maintain. And the reason why it's a lot tougher to maintain is because you guys haven't built some kind of in-person connection already. So let's say you're going out with each other and then one of you moves away. That's an easier relationship to maintain because you've already had that in-person experience. But in your case where you like someone and you guys talk, you hang out and stuff, you're asking, well, what can we do to move forward? I would ask you that question. In your mind, what is moving forward? Is it when you guys are old enough, you make plans to meet up? Is it you move out where they live, they move out where you live? You have to ask yourself, like, what is your goal, I guess, with that type of long distance relationship? How do you plan on eventually, because everyone wants to take a long distance relationship and make it a short distance relationship, right? So you ask yourself, what is it that I would need in order for that to happen? That's the question I think you need to address. How do you get a 90-year-old lady to like you? It depends. It depends. If you want the 90-year-old lady to pinch your cheeks and say, "Oh, you're such a cutie," I think just ask her questions about her life, what her life was like growing up. I think people love to share their wisdom and their experience. So by asking an older person, what was life like growing up for you? What was it like for you when you were in middle school? What was it like for you when you were in high school? How did you hang out with your friends? People love sharing that and sharing it with them. So that's the best way to get a 90-year-old lady to like you. Never thought I would answer that question here, but I did. Let's see what else is going on here. So Speed Swimmer says, how do I ask a shy girl out? What if there are two other girls who like her? Okay, so I did a video on how to talk to someone who's shy. That should be good. And if two other guys like her, here's the thing. Here's what I think. When you like someone that a bunch of other people like, or they're kind of like the it person. Let's say they were popular. You know what? Let's take a quick water break, guys. It's always good to take a water break. I think I yawn so much because I talk so much. I gotta give myself a second to breathe. How you guys doing? Let's get a few of those type of comments in the chat too. Let me know how your day's going. You having a good day, a bad day, nervous, stressful? Just leave a few comments there. I promise I'll get to the questions. I just want to know how you guys are doing. But so yeah, back to the question of you like someone and other people like them. What do? You now feel like you're competing with them for that person's attention, right? That's a normal feeling. The truth of the matter is that they are not your competition. As weird as it sounds, the people who also like her are not your competition. You are your only competition. Now, let me explain that to you. The reason why I say you are your only competition in this example is because you can work towards building a better relationship between you and the girl. And whether she does that with the other guys, that may or may not happen. You can't stop that. You can't control that. All you have control over is your relationship with her. So what I would advise is build the best and strongest relationship you can with her so that what these guys try to offer her pales in comparison. And the best way to do that is to ask her to hang out, to talk to her, to joke with her, to get to know who she is. The more you open up to her and the more you get her to open up, these guys won't even be contenders. You won't even think about them because you'll be building something so strong with her. Hey, look at that. Svan made a eclipse. That's pretty cool. See what else we got. Can I have the gift of Jericho? Well, if the Jericho you're talking about is Chris Jericho, then all you need to do is apparently call people stupid idiots, start growing a mustache, and wear a scarf. And you'll have the power of Chris Jericho. So, see what else is going on here. So many comments, guys. Really appreciate it. So Chunky says, can you give me advice on depression? Yeah, so here's the thing. There's a lot of good channels. I'm no expert in talking about depression, but I'll give you 3 good channels that you definitely should check out if you feel like you suffer from depression, it's something on your mind, or something you've been worried about, maybe experiencing one day. Look up Kati Morton, Katimorton, Kati Morton. She is a licensed therapist, and she talks a lot about depression. She talks a lot about eating disorders, about suicidal thoughts, rejection. She's a therapist, pure therapist, and she brings this amazing light to YouTube and talks about that. Kati Morton, one channel. Second channel is my friend Scott. His channel is called Depression to Expression. Look him up, Depression to Expression. Scott is someone who battles with depression every single day, right? And what he does is he makes videos sometimes when he's even feeling depressed or when anxiety has gotten the better of him, and he talks about what it feels like in that moment, what he did to overcome it, how sometimes he just lets himself relax. So he shares his real personal experiences with that. Another channel is my brother, CTKaraoke2. He makes videos, a slew of different videos on YouTube, vlog videos and all these different things. What he started doing recently is on Twitch, he started doing a coloring stream, right? So he colors and he does meditative kind of music and he talks very softly and he creates this tranquil environment that if you're ever feeling stressed out or depressed, being there and talking about your feelings and just coloring and doing basic activities helps you kind of feel more relaxed. So CTKaraoke2, Kati Morton, and Scott from Depression to Expression. Quick fingers. Glad you're doing good, man. I'm doing good too. So let's see. Kellen says, I can't get the ladies because of my jelly rolls. So notice me, senpai. Huge ass. I notice you. So you feel like you have jelly rolls and no one loves you, right? I mean, that's like jelly rolls sometimes make you feel like you're not lovable or it's weird or you don't look good and all these different things that come with it. But here's the thing. Like I said early on in this chat, once you get to know someone, the traits of their personality begin to stand out more in your mind, and those are the first things you think about. Like, take a second, guys, here, and think about your closest friend. I want everyone to take a second right now and think about your closest friend. What is it you think about when you think about them? I'm curious. Write it in the chat, guys. Do you think that they're funny? Do you think that they're crazy? They're down to do anything? Do they make you feel comfortable? Are they a video gamer like you? Write down what your closest friend makes you think about when they first pop into your mind. So when it comes to the jelly rolls and feeling just not attractive for yourself, the truth of the matter is that you can work. That's it. You can work on it. Physical appearance is something you can slowly work on. It's a matter of maybe eating healthy and working out and all these different things. But the confidence that comes with it, because sometimes you may have a good body, good looking body, whatever, but you may not be confident still in your own skin. The confidence comes in as you get to know people, you start to see that they begin to know who you are, your interests, what you like talking about. They start to learn those things, and that's what you have to look for. Okay, so the Bean Machine says, how to apologize to someone's face-to-face who doesn't want to speak to you. So I've gotten this question from a few of you guys. Maybe you've said or done something, or maybe something happened where this person doesn't like you, whether they block you on Instagram or they just heard rumors, millions of reasons, but they just don't like you for some reason. And you want to apologize, you want to talk to them, but they want nothing to do with you. So what do? You're kind of stuck in this moment where it's like, well, how do I resolve this? Sometimes it's best to leave it alone, honestly, I think you approach someone and you try to talk things out and they're not ready to talk about it, it's important to let them know that you're there for them, and it's important to let them know that you're ready to talk and open up and make them feel comfortable. But it's also important to give them their space too. Sometimes people need that space in order to feel comfortable and open up eventually. So if you're trying to talk to them and they don't want anything to do with you right now, give them that space. And then try again in a week, try again in a month, try again later. But also give yourself some time to not think about it, to not worry about it, to not stress out over it. Notice me, senpai. Oh, I'm noticing all of you guys. crazy things you're writing in this chat. Ferbreeze says, why can't I get a girl no matter how hard I try to drop hints? So sometimes dropping hints isn't enough. A lot of times you think, oh, let me say something like, you're really beautiful, or I think you're beautiful. And you think that's enough, but it's not. The progression is starting conversation leads into asking them to hang out and spending time with them. If you're not leading into that, if you're not spending one-on-one time with them, then dropping hints is just staying in this first place. You're not really going to the second place. So Talha Khan says, hi, my office girl was smiling at me like crazy. I asked her no, and she said, sorry, I don't have a company phone. Oh, you asked her for her number, and she said she doesn't have a company phone. Why was she smiling a lot at me? So this is the thing. Smiling, saying hello, asking how you're doing, these aren't direct signs that someone likes you. As much as we sometimes feel like, oh, why would they look at me so much? Why would they smile at me so much? They must like me. It's not a direct sign. So we need to recognize that we can't always interpret that as this is a direct sign that they like me and all these different things. What we should recognize is that if they are interested, if they are interested to the extent that they're smiling or they're saying hello or whatever it may be, the best that we can do is to ask them to hang out, to spend some time with them, to get to know them better. Because trying to figure out whether or not a person likes you on a smile alone is like trying to throw a dart blindfolded. You don't know. You might hit the target. You very well might hit the target, but you don't really know. So you're gonna use your time a lot better getting to know them, asking them to hang out, and then moving from step 1 to step 2, then you would really trying to analyze everything. Well, why did they leave their pencil there? Why did they say hello to me? Why did they wish me a happy birthday? Like if you spend all your time analyzing little strings, you're gonna get lost in the shuffle. You're better off trying to move from step 1 to step 2, which is talking to them, building some kind of level of comfort, and then moving over towards asking them to hang out and everything like that. So was I hot in high school or ugly as fuck? If you check out one of my most recent videos, I think I did it last week or so, kids used to make fun of me for how I looked in high school. And I did a video explaining all those details. I had pimples and acne on my face, my haircut looked stupid, and just all these different things. I dressed kind of like sluggish and stupid. Kids used to make fun of me all the time, so I was not hot by any means, but I was able to understand and learn how to deal with that and move forward and, be positive on the other end. So let's see what else you guys got. Oh, every time I scroll down on the comments, they like jump. So I'm sorry if I'm missing some of your questions. Here's the thing too, guys. If I miss any of your questions and they're really, really important things, like I said earlier, you can always reach out to me. I try my best to answer every single message that I get. On Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, I go on Periscope every so often, Snapchat. Any of these platforms, just look up @TheJoshSpeaks and you'll find me and ask me your question. I try my best to answer all of them, so jump on those and message me. My phone's right here, so afterwards I'll take a quick look and see what messages you guys send me, and I'll see if I can answer a few of them before I go eat and do different things like that. So, can you make more videos about your experience? Yes. Every Friday is a life stories video. I share a story from my life, things that I experienced, what I learned. Every Tuesday is a tips video. So I share different tips. I take a specific topic or question or technique that people want to learn, and I give real tips and advice. And then Fridays is my life stories. So you're always going to get a balance of that. If you guys are interested too, recently, last Friday, I did a fan collab video where I had about 20 video submissions from people like Preston. He's in there too. Preston, a bunch of people sent me videos answering the question, how do your parents feel about dating? And I turned that into a collab video, and I thought it was awesome. I was so proud of it. I was so proud of the people that were a part of it, and I think it was helpful for so many people. So I do fan collabs. I do live hangouts like this. I'm trying to add in so many different elements to this just so that I can talk to you guys and just so that I can be there to hear you out, you know, to share advice and to also listen to your stories, because I feel like listening to your stories is probably the biggest learning experience for me. You guys teach me so much, and hopefully I can teach you, and we learn from each other. We go together. Everyone's being their best self. So I did not see Raw. I saw the clips of Raw pieces. So, okay, so Blue Cross says, how do you talk to your girl in her fifth, how do you talk to your girlfriend into her 5th consecutive abortion? She kind of wants a baby, but I don't, and I may have to kill it myself if she can't. Yeah, I mean, that's kind of like a tasteless comment, dude. I mean, like, here's the thing. It's like, if the girl's going on her 5th abortion, and I don't know if you're just trolling, if you're serious, I really don't know, but let's assume this is a real case. 1st, 2nd, or 3rd, doesn't matter what number they are. But if the girl is constantly running into situations where she gets pregnant, and she doesn't want to have babies, then she just has to take better precautions, whether that for her might be going on birth control, whether that's making sure she uses protection, whether that's maybe not having as much sex and less than the amount of sex and try not to have sex. I mean, there's a lot of different ways. It's like you have to understand that having sex can lead to having babies. They are interlocked, you know, it's always a possibility. So you have to be very careful and very conscious. Now, if you're just going to do it willy-nilly and say, I don't care, I'll just keep aborting the babies and stuff, as much as you may think, like, oh, it doesn't matter, it does affect a person's body continuously doing that, you know, like, so I'd be very careful and very conscious of her and what you guys are doing. And if you see that she keeps getting pregnant and you're her boyfriend, dude, you have to be safe too. Sex, no sex, mate. Stay safe, kids. There you go. That's what I would say. Okay, how to get over being embarrassed. That's a good one. That's a really good question. So sometimes you may do something, you know, like you trip, you fall, you say something stupid, you got called out about something, you feel embarrassed. You feel like everyone's looking at you and judging you, making fun of you. Now, here's the thing. Sometimes you have no control over whether or not people will make nicknames or talk about you behind your back or any of these stupid things that people do just so they can feel valued and feel like they're having fun. You have no control over that. What you do have control over is how you broadcast yourself into the world. So if you want to work on not feeling embarrassed, the best thing to do is to talk to people that you feel embarrassed around. So for example, let's take a quick water break, then I'll tell you what to do when you feel embarrassed. That's good stuff, water. So when you feel embarrassed, what I think you can do is, like I said, talk to the people that you feel embarrassed around. So let's say you're walking and you spot a bunch of girls and they're all giggling at you and stuff, and you feel embarrassed. You feel like, oh my God, they're making fun of me. Walk up to them and start talking to them. Because when you kind of interrupt the process of someone making you feel embarrassed, you feel confident and they no longer carry that anymore. So if you're walking and someone calls you a name, walk up to them and say, hey dude, why'd you say that, man? That wasn't really nice, that wasn't cool. You're gonna put them on the spot so badly that they're gonna be like, and they're gonna be caught off guard. And you're not gonna feel embarrassed, you're gonna feel confident because you didn't allow someone else to create that feeling for you. So I say, when you run into a situation when you feel embarrassed, walk up to the person and go talk to them. So Chunky Craft said, please check out my channel. Chunky Craft, I think, does Minecraft videos. So if you guys like Minecraft videos, go check out Chunky Craft's channel. Water break. Yes, Hugh. John Hunt, you enjoy my videos? Thanks, man. I really appreciate it. I hope they're helpful in some way. And if you ever have any ideas for specific videos you want me to cover, send me a message. Let me know. Okay. So Nikki Graham says, what are good things to talk about with new people in grade 12? Okay, so grade 12 would be senior year, right, of high school, right? So what are good things to talk about with them? So because you guys are getting ready to either graduate or, you know, start working, whatever it is, that's always an easy conversation, I think, for someone who's in high school getting ready to graduate, they're senior. Hey, what do you plan on going to college? Or what kind of job do you want in the future? Or, you know, what are your goals? What are you working towards? What do you care about? What are you passionate about, you know? So I think that's always an initial question you can ask someone in your same grade. And you can ask them, you know, like I said, college questions like, hey, what do you plan on going to college? Do you want to move far away? Do you want to stay at home? Do you want to stay local? Those are general things that I think you can lead into conversation. As far as specifics, like I said, asking questions. And the summer is a topic that you can always jump into no matter what grade you're in. I think it provides an easy, what'd you do this summer kind of setup. So Megahertz says, I'm 16 at a new school. I saw a girl that I find attractive. I was going to introduce myself to her, but she found a minute to introduce herself to me. Does that mean anything? Please reply. Okay, so he likes a girl. He was going to introduce himself, but she introduced herself to him, right? We look at that and we say, well, clearly she likes him. But here's the thing, too. When you have a crush on someone, you tend to take anything that they do as a sign that they like you back, right? I like this girl. She looked at me. She must like me. She, you know, smiled. She must like me. She asked me for a pen. She must like me. You begin to think anything they do is a sign that they like you, but you only know the feelings work one way. You don't know how it works the other way. So if the girl introduces herself to you and you like her, take it as simple as that. All she did was introduce herself, say hi, and, you know, start a conversation. If you like her and you want to continue, you want to move it forward, definitely ask her to hang out, get to know her better, learn a little bit more about her. Those three things that I always talk about. And his name is John Cena. You guys, I feel like you guys are having crazy time in the comment section all on your own here. This is great. I got to go back and read all of these. Hey, Hugh. If you keep saying mean things, dude, I'm going to have to kick you out. You know, like I said, I want to try to, Chunky, I'm happy that I've been helpful in some way. I really appreciate that, man. Hugh, if you keep saying mean, stupid things, then I'm just going to kind of like kick you out, man. Because then it's just not fun anymore. Then it's just kind of being rude. You know what I mean? So, guys, here, Preston, I'm going to make you, I'm going to set you as a moderator, Preston. Because you're cool, man. We did the video. Like I said, if he keeps saying dumb things, by all means, kick him out. You know, Aiden, Nickelback, what's up, dude? Like I said, I warned him. I talked to him. If he keeps saying dumb things, then kick him out. No need to kick him out right now. Just hopefully everyone keeps it cool. Yes. So kick this kid. Like I said, guys, I'm on my iPad. Like I said, if it keeps saying here, Aiden, I'll make you a mod too. All right. Hold on, guys. I have to add and remove moderators. Oh, I don't know how this even works. This is my first time doing a YouTube live. But if I see him again, if I see him saying dumb things, then we will take care of business. Here we go. Aiden, you should be a moderator too. Preston, Aiden, if you guys, hopefully try to keep everyone cool here. Poor Hugh. Exactly, like, not poor Hugh isn't, but he's saying his own, everyone's responsible. But if he says dumb things, like we said, we cover it. No more time on that. Let's spend more time on the questions. How to act on your first date. Boom. That's a good question. So when it comes to Aiden, I made you moderator, so if, you have the power here. Am I using Nightbot? No, I just did it on a normal Google Hangouts on live. How to act on the first date. A lot of times you're going to feel very nervous on that first date. You're going to feel like, oh, do I put my arm around them? Do I talk to them? Do I kiss them? What do I do? You don't really know what to do. The first date, keep in mind, the first date, the purpose of the first date is to talk. That's it. I don't care what anyone else says. The purpose of the first date is to talk. Because you're hanging out with this person one-on-one for the first time, you want to learn as much as you can about them. Because if you don't learn a lot about them and you go on a second date and a third date and a fourth date, by the fourth date you may feel like, well, me and this person don't get along, or I wasted my time. But if you really get to know as much as you can on the first date, you'll determine whether or not a second date makes sense. So the important point is to really get to know someone. Really get to know someone on the first time. Saying mean things. My cousin was over here today and he got a hold of my laptop. I got it from him. You won't hear me say mean stuff again. See, guys, so all right, all right, so he was banned. Like I said, guys, if people say mean things, bad things, talk to them first. I mean, I don't want to like swing around the ban hammer, but only if people really are disrupting conversation. Okay, so Josh says, what if I can't decide on a career, junior and high? So that's another thing too. Sometimes when you're a junior, you're a senior, people are already like, hey, what do you want to do for the rest of your life? People kind of like put this pressure on you to decide. And sometimes you may not know. It may take time to really decide what you want to do, to find your career, or whatever it may be. But the truth of the matter is that I think the best thing to do is to try to find people. If you're trying to find a career that you want, try to look for people that you admire. And that may be someone like for example, I'll give an example. For myself, I highly admire Mr. Rogers, right? I loved watching Mr. Rogers' Neighborhood growing up. And after reading a bunch of his books and watching talks by him and really learning all that I could about him, I've learned to kind of model my life and what I want to do around him and similar to him. So I think find someone that you highly admire and really see what it is that they do well. Watch someone, here's the thing, watch someone love what they do. If you watch someone that loves what they do, you're going to feel that same sense of love. And that may trigger and help push you into a direction where you find what you like. So right now you may not know what you want to do, but watch people that love what they do, and that'll help you really start to think about what works and what doesn't work for you. Oh, this is a deep question. Gunnar Jake wants a shout out. Gunnar Jake. When did I lose my virginity? I lost my virginity, I think I was 18 or 19. I think it was 19. That's a whole nother story too. I'm going to share that in a Friday video at some point. It's a beautiful day in the neighborhood. You are special. There's no one else in this world like you, and I like you just the way you are. It's such a good feeling to know you're alive. It's all right. I could sing Mr. Rogers all day. I saw a question here that was like, how to know who you are. That's a really good one, guys. Question, I think. A lot of us struggle with trying to define who are we? Really, who are we? Are we what we look like? Are we the things that we like? Are we our friends and our family and our community? I think the real answer to the question of who are we is really to think about who we allow ourselves to be to the rest of the world. So if you're someone who puts good into the world, who helps others, who shares things, who makes other people feel comfortable, then who you are is that valuable resource to so many other people. You know, we try to think who we are is a way of defining us disconnected from everyone else, but we're not. You know, we have friends and we have family and we have people we talk to, and we influence so many other people's lives. Think about that. Everyone take a second to think. Think about how many people you have met and talked to or seen in this world. You know, you could be 10 years old, you could be 12 years old. You've still met and seen and talked to so many people. So you've been a piece of so many people's lives. So who you are is a collection of everything, man. You're a collection of everything. Your influence runs forever, you know? Flip the water bottle. It's a glass bottle. I don't know. Play that, man. That would be kind of dangerous. Blanders, how you going, man? I don't have a P.O. box. I do want to set one up, though. I do want to set one up in case you guys ever want to send me letters or any stuff like that. Just a quick shout out too, if you guys, I got some low here. This is one of the official Josh Speaks shirts that I have. It says Love and Peace. The Josh Speaks was created 2011, established 2011. And if you guys want your own Josh Speaks t-shirt, I only push this a few times. You can get it, you know, if you go to the description of this video, this live stream, I have the link in there, the joshspeaks.spreadshirt.com. And I have a few different Josh Speaks shirts if you want to buy your own shirt and support the channel and grow and stuff like that, you know. Check your email. I will be checking my email at some point, but not currently, not right now while I'm on the stream. Do I like hockey? I don't like hockey. I've been to one Islanders game once. That was it. Had act in freshman year. Like I said, when it comes to being a freshman, everyone else is a freshman too. So the best thing you can do is to turn to your classmates and start talking to them. Don't try to fit into a group. Don't try to pretend to be cool. Don't try to, here's the thing. A lot of times people try to be chameleons and change the color of their skin to match others so that they can blend in. But the truth is, you're gonna encounter so many different people. You're gonna encounter so many different learning experiences that it doesn't make sense to limit yourself. And I consider it limiting yourself by trying to act a certain way to only appeal to a certain group of people. You have a much better chance of having a better time in high school if you don't limit yourself. You interact with everyone, you talk to everyone, you don't try to force your personality to go in a certain way. Wiggle Boy, whooper! Wiggle Boy is here, got a nice mixtape. That stuff is lit, it's on fire. There, that's a shout out, man. What do you think about the new Star Wars movie? I liked it. I liked the new Star Wars, The Force Awakens. I forgot the tagline. I liked Star Wars Force Awakens. Thought it was fun. I was really sad when the big thing happened to that big character who was the father of, you know what I mean? I was really sad. I was sitting in the theater going, So my crush isn't in any of my classes this year. What do I do? That's another thing too. You run into a situation where you like someone, but they are nowhere to be seen. What do you do? I think in a case like that, it's like you have to ask yourself, do you have an opportunity to hang out with them, talk to them, interact with them at all? If you don't, and it doesn't exist right now, let's say for this year or this semester or this quarter, whatever it is, then move on from them. Put them on the crush back burner and talk to new people and develop a new crush. You know, if it's not realistic for you to interact with them right now, then don't worry so much about it. Don't try to force yourself to try to make something work if you can't. Talk to other people and develop new crushes. Oh, what was that? I just saw something. Hey, I struggle with body image. Coca says, I struggle with body image. How can I improve my self-esteem so I can enjoy high school? Please answer this if you do. So I'll shout out another channel for you to definitely check out. My friend Caitlin from iIMAGINEblank. Type in iIMAGINEblank in YouTube and she should pop up. And she does a lot of videos I think are amazing. She speaks primarily, like I guess I speak primarily to a guy audience. It seems according to YouTube analytics, she speaks primarily to a girl audience too. To a girl audience. And her videos are just awesome. They really are super helpful in helping you feel confident in your body and dealing with self-esteem and just being creative and fun. So definitely check out Caitlin at iIMAGINEblank. And I think a good way to deal with body image is to really look at the success stories of people who have had bigger bodies or have been a little overweight and all these different things, and really study their stories and see how they've learned to develop confidence. Like, I look at Adele as an example of someone who, you know, dealt with body issues growing up, and she feels so confident in her skin. Really read her story. Go on Wikipedia even if you have to, and read her story. Look up anything you can, interviews, articles, and see what she did to develop that confidence. Because I feel like the best way that you can develop confidence for a specific issue is to reach out to people who have also dealt with confidence issues in that specific field and see what they've done to overcome it. So, but definitely check out my friend Caitlin. She has amazing videos that are that will be totally helpful. How do you get intimate with someone, Josh asked, and they put the little kiss emoji there. I think a good way to lead into some level of intimacy and to kind of connect with someone is to, I mean, I don't know how old you are, and I think it differs based on age, but what I would say is how to lead into intimacy is to take a little bit of a bold step in what you do. So for example, if you're walking with them, try to hold their hand and see how if they feel comfortable with that. Maybe put your arm around them, see if they feel comfortable. Go for a kiss and see if they feel comfortable. It really is a matter of taking little steps. Everything is small steps, and taking those small steps and really seeing what their feedback is. Do they feel comfortable with it? If I go to grab her hand, does she kind of pull away, or does she say, oh, I don't feel comfortable with that? Really listen and really learn and adapt to those kind of settings. Who do you watch on YouTube? Shy Dinosaur? So I watch, one channel I watch on YouTube is Gary Vaynerchuk. That may be hard to spell. Type in Gary, V-E-E. And he talks a lot about hustle and really working hard and really having gratitude for life. I think that's so important. So I'll give you guys a quick example of that. Gary Vaynerchuk did a video where some woman stopped him on the street. She's like, Gary, give me 3 words to just motivate me and to get me to go out and do something and to not be scared and to tackle things. And Gary Vaynerchuk said, 3 words, you're gonna die. When you think about that, right? You're gonna die. How is that motivational in any way? The way I see it is this. If you recognize that one day, look, we're all gonna die. It's gonna happen one day, right? But knowing that you're alive right now, knowing you're alive in this moment, and knowing that, you know, you have the opportunity to go out and do something, you have the opportunity to talk to someone. You know, when you wake up in the morning and you can stretch your arms, you can stand up and you can walk and you can say, all right, let me tackle life. That is so amazing. That gives you so many opportunities, you know, and that's where the gratitude comes in. So Gary Vaynerchuk talks a lot about that kind of stuff, man. A lot of different channels. I watch Video Creators TV. If any of you guys are interested in really building a YouTube audience and brand and channel that really speaks to a higher message, you know, higher purpose of helping people, Video Creators TV, Tim Schmoyer does a lot of videos that really are helpful. Okay, guys, we got 30 minutes left, and then I'm gonna start wrapping it up because I'm gonna go get dinner with my girlfriend. But yeah, so I mean, all right, guys. So it seems like people might be being sexual and stuff. Like I said, guys. I mean, to be respectful to me at least, you know, like. Just try not to be crazy in the comments. Don't say dirty or stupid things. I understand some of you guys want to troll and be trolls and stuff, but I mean, cool, you watch Video Creators, man. I mean, the reason I think setting moderators is just to kind of keep things in line, you know, to kind of weed out the real trolly trolls. You know, not people who are just, you know, saying things just because. So how did I meet my girlfriend? So my current girlfriend, I'm actually saving that story for a full video on Friday, but I'll give you a quick little snippet. I met her when I was actually recording a video with my other friend. Me and my other friend used to have a YouTube channel, no longer around. We used to have a YouTube channel, we'd record videos, and that was her mutual friend. So she brought not my girlfriend at the time, but brought her friend, and I met her, and we became friends. And it's an interesting story, guys. I really had to share with you in a longer video. Check your Instagram, please. I've asked you 50,000 times. I will get to my Instagram. I know it's on here. I will get to it eventually. I promise. All Let's see, John says, Josh, I need urgent help. I plan to ask my crush up tomorrow. How can I mentally prepare for it? So if you're in a situation where you're like, you know what, it's game time, I'm gonna ask them out. How do I get in the zone? This is the best way to do it. I think before you ask them out, start with a simpler, basic conversation. A lot of times you want to just like, I'm gonna walk right up to them and say, will you go out with me? But don't do that. What I would suggest is start a normal conversation. Start a conversation about summer or hobbies, or ask a question and lead into asking them out. Instead of just going, hi, will you go out with me? Start talking about something else. Say, hey, listen, you know what? You're pretty cool. I like spending time with you. I think we connect. What are you doing this Friday? How about we go catch a movie? How about we go do that? Lead into everything. Don't just, put a stamp on it and say, that's it, you're done. Let's see. What else is going on here? What do I think about Rogue One? I saw the trailers. I'm excited, man. Star Wars Rogue One looks great. So all right, Real Madrid says, how do I start a conversation with my girlfriend? So here's the thing, and this is, I'm curious to know what you guys think about this. A lot of times I speak to people, they send me messages and stuff, and they'll say something like, hi, I have a girlfriend, I have a boyfriend, but we don't hang out and we don't talk to each other. So I'm curious how you guys get into the situation where you are boyfriend and girlfriend. Like, how do you guys develop that, but then not feel comfortable around each other? So maybe you guys are asking each other out, or girlfriend and boyfriend are just a basic title. But I think if you were in a situation where you don't feel comfortable talking around your girlfriend, a good thing to do is, like I said, talk to her like you would a new person. You can even play 20 questions. Go online and look up the game 20 questions and ask each other those questions and have fun with that. Or, find a way to joke with each other and talk, because that's, I think, the best way you can start building that connection. And the way you build it is by simply learning more about the person, even if the person is already your girlfriend. So Devon says, I'm in middle school. How do I get to the popular girl? So I did a video called how to ask out the popular girl. I think when we think about popular, we think people who are popular, untouchable. Like, they're in their own class. I'm just a normal guy. I can never talk to them. Truth of the matter is that no matter if you're popular or not popular, we're all built the same. And we're all built in a way where we all want to feel comfortable and safe around others. We all want to know that we can open up and be expressive of our feelings. Even that popular girl who seems to have everything under control wants people to like her, wants people to, not think she's weird and not think she's ugly and not think she's stupid. So the best way to talk to her is to talk to her like you talk to everyone else. Once you start speaking to that person as if they're on their own wavelength, then they're going to start to say, well, that's it, I am this, I am that. But if you talk to them like they're a regular person, they're going to respond to you like a regular person. What do I do? I'm in the A class and my crush is in the B class. So yeah, I touched on this a little bit before. If you run into a situation where you guys are in different classes, and you have to ask yourself, are you going to be able to see her? Is it possible that you guys will run into each other? Is it possible that, like, you guys won't be able to make time for each other? If you guys can't make time for each other, then maybe it doesn't make sense to try to approach her. Maybe it makes sense to put her in kind of the crush bin, and then find a new crush, find someone new to talk to that you can talk to, maybe that is in your class. Longest relationship. My current relationship, I've been with my girlfriend for 4+ years, 5 years. So how do you be the new kid? So Savan, if you're saying dirty things, man, I don't want you to have to get banned. I just want to put a warning, dude. Because when you say things, I have not been to Super City, and I hope I never been to City. Chunky Crafts, I know you're just one RKO away from visiting. Yeah, look, if you guys, if you're saying things that are making other people in the chat feel uncomfortable, just try not to do that. Like, I don't want to have to ban people. I hate that. I hate being in a situation where it's like, we have to close people out of the conversation. We should be open. We should be able to talk about things. But if you're creating kind of a disrupting kind of environment, then it kind of ruins, ruins the flow of things. Back to the question, how do you be the new kid? So I mentioned this a few times earlier today. I think when it comes to being the new kid, you have to recognize that other people, kind of give you the new kid pass, the free pass, where it's like, you're new, you can ask questions, you can try to do whatever you want. I'll give you guys a quick example. So one of my college classes, I think I shared this in one of my videos, I don't remember. One of my college classes, there was a girl that I thought was like super cute. And I wanted to talk to her. It was the beginning of the semester, and she kind of sat directly in front in the lecture hall, all the way in the front. And I sat a few rows behind her. And I was like, no, I'm going to sit right here. And I just sat in that few rows behind her and just looked at her the whole class, right? So in the beginning, some guy came in, walked down, and then sat next to her, introduced himself, like, oh, hi, nice to meet you. And every single day, I would come into class, and he would sit next to her because he introduced himself. They got to know each other on their first day. And they would hang out, and they would talk, and they would talk, and they would flirt. And I would sit and watch them flirt, and I would think, oh, man, that could have been me. All I had to do was sit a few rows ahead and introduce myself to her in the first class. She wouldn't have thought it was weird because we were both new. And I think eventually they started going out, which was really weird. But it was a missed opportunity for me because I pulled back in thinking, well, she's going to think I'm weird for talking to her. But that wasn't true at all. The fact of the matter is that I could have opened up a conversation with her, and it would have been totally fine. Oh, questions flying. Can you do Pokemon Go? I am level 22 in Pokemon Go. I am Team Mystic. What about you guys? Can I get a shout out on my YouTube channel? So Zednot Alpha, I think, right? Zednot Alpha. Everyone go check out Zednot Alpha. Do you like doing live streams? Yeah, live streams are so much fun, man. I jump on live stream. So here's the thing too, in case you guys don't know. I do these YouTube live streams. Hopefully I'm going to do them once a month. Hopefully I can do them more. I do Facebook Live every so often, so I'm jumping on Facebook Live a lot. And I do Periscope every Monday night. So when I'm recording my video, I do a behind the scenes on Periscope where you guys can watch me make the videos. You can watch me mess up, and you watch me sweat and go crazy and all these different things on Periscope. So I love jumping on live stream. I love talking with you guys. That's my favorite part, the interacting part. It's a lot of fun. But like I said, my goal here was to help you guys just answer your back to school questions, the things that are on your mind as you're going back into school. And I'm going to start making more videos now, kind of touching on school things since everyone's going back. So whoever asks about Shy Girls again, ask her, how was your day? And go from there. Very underrated question. Yeah, to Aiden's point, simple, hey, how's your day going? What are you up to? They're basic questions, and they're very underrated. People don't realize how far they can actually go. Level 23, whoop whoop, Mystic. So okay, here's a question. My girlfriend is going to college before I can. Is it bad to stay with her? That's a tough one. I mean, it's hard to tell if it's bad to stay with someone because they're going to college. Now, here's the reality of it. When a person starts at a new school or goes to college and you guys are separate from each other, she is going to be experiencing a whole new world of things, a whole new group of people, a new environment, all these different things. And that may affect the relationship because that's just the truth. When a person enters a new environment, they're exposed to new things. And she may feel like, well, like I have this opportunity to do all these things and I kind of don't want to be held down in some way. So that her being in college, you not being in college may create some level of distance, but I'm not really sure. To ask yourself, do you feel like the two of you have talked things out? And do you really know where she stands? Does she feel like she will feel confident, staying with you while she's in college? Do you feel confident staying with her while she's in college? Okay, so Josh says, what is good advice for being a good boyfriend? Convo ideas, date locations, have good self-confidence? Yeah, dude, I think you nailed it. I mean, look, truth of the matter is that no one's ever going to be a perfect boyfriend or girlfriend. We're always going to fight. We're going to be jealous. We're going to be insecure. We're going to not plan things out. We're going to forget things. We're humans sometimes. We make mistakes. But if you want to work on being as best of a boyfriend as you can be, just try to be conscious of details. A lot of boys, myself included, forget a lot of details. We overlook things that maybe our girlfriends don't, and it ends up leading our girlfriends to not feel important or not feel like we pay attention enough. So try your best to really look at details. Sometimes the simplest things can be the best. Sometimes, hey, let's go for a walk together. Hey, let's just put our phones down and hang out. You know, those simple things can sometimes go a long way. So, let's see this. Love and peace, yo. Oh, Hugh, are you heading out? Let's see. I'm scrolling through some of the questions here. Let's see what else you guys got going on here. So Nathan says, Josh, people are pressuring me to ask out my crush. What should I do? Please notice me, senpai. So people are pressuring you to ask out your crush. Here's the thing, too. So when it comes to that, it's wrong for people to pressure you to do something that you don't feel comfortable doing at that specific stage. But sometimes if you like someone, you may be frozen. You may not want to ask them out. You may not know what to do. So sometimes a little bit of push, like, hey, dude, go for it, man. Go for it, might be helpful. I know for me it was. When it came to asking out my first girlfriend, I just sat there and I'm like, no, I'm not going to ask her out. I like her, but I'm just going to look at her from a distance. Just a girl I liked. And my friends kept saying, dude, go talk to her, go talk to her, go talk to her right now. Walk right up to her and talk to her. Walk right up to her and talk to her. And I said, you know what? Fine. I walked right up to her, I talked to her, and I asked her for her phone number, and I got it. You know, so sometimes having a little bit of a push helps, but if it's making you clam up more, then it's being counterintuitive. So I would let them know that they have to help you in a way that works for you. Someone asked, I think, will this be on YouTube? Yes, it will. What I usually do is I go through the video after when I can, and I kind of timestamp each of the questions so that when you guys are looking at the video later, you can lagging a little bit. When you guys are looking at the video later, you guys can jump to the specific question you want to see, and you can hop around that way. I know it's easier to navigate too. All right, guys, we got about 15 more minutes. Let's get those questions in. What do you guys want to know? What do you want to talk about? Let's see. How do you send signs to a girl that I like her over text? So I have a video called How to Ask a Girl Out Over Text. And I think a good way to show signs is to, let me look. Let's take a water break on that one. Water. How do you send signs to a girl that you like? I think a good way to send signs is to, there's tons of ways you can send emojis and flirt and all these different things, but I think making insightful comments seems to work the best, I think. So for example, let's say she says like, trying to think off the top of my head. An insightful comment might be something like, you know what, let's say she says, I love to swim, I'm a swimmer, right, and random. And you say, well, look at you, swimming, how many miles do you swim usually? And she says, oh, no, yeah, I swim like maybe a mile or two a day or something. Be like, all right, well, next time we have to have a race. I bet I'm a better swimmer than you. I could beat you. I swim 3 miles, winky face. Like, that's crappy, I know. But the idea is that you want to put a little bit of challenge and tension there by poking fun, by maybe challenging her, and saying these things because it just creates a level of competitiveness and fun that she may feel more inclined to respond to and talk to. So maybe that's not the best. I don't think I answered that question the best. But I like Family Guy. It's okay. I watch it when it's there, but I'm not a huge Family Guy fan. Have you ever dated outside of your race? I think every girlfriend I've had has been outside of my race. My first girlfriend was Italian. My second girlfriend was Filipino. My third girlfriend is Russian. So I've never dated a Puerto Rican girl. I don't really know that many, I think. I don't know. Let's see. So Randy says, how do I learn to show affection to my girlfriend in front of others and learn to be more open and talk about our relationship and learn to experiment without worrying of rejection? So yeah, sometimes like PDA, you can be afraid to display that. Like sometimes you may be like, oh, it's weird kissing my girlfriend in front of people because people might laugh or make fun of me or my friends might think I'm a loser, whatever it may be, that's a normal feeling to have. I think a good way to get over that is to recognize that at the end of the day, beyond all the bullshit, beyond what people say, I think generally people just want other people to be happy with their lives. You know, like, they may not care about your lives, but they want you to just be happy for yourself. Like, listen, I don't care about you, but as long as you're happy, then okay, fine, right? So when it comes to showing PDA, do what makes you happy, you know, because people generally just want you to be happy. So if you're not pushing yourself to not kiss your girlfriend for their sake. You know, it's not like they're going to be hurt or offended or annoyed by you kissing your girlfriend. It's like you're only doing it because you don't want to create a perception where they might feel those things. But in most cases, they won't. They won't feel annoyed. They won't feel upset. They won't feel like you're bragging if you kiss your girlfriend. Now, if you're constantly like making out all the time, maybe it can be a little bit annoying and get in the way. But the best way to get over that PDA is to recognize that there's no one around you that wants you to not feel comfortable. And if kissing your girlfriend is going to make you both feel happy and comfortable, then that's generally what people want. Let's see what else we got going on here. Okay, so Marty McFly says, I just got over a 7-month relationship. I really like this girl. It's in my class, and I'm rusty. Okay, rusty. You got to oil up the old machine here. I think in a case like that where you haven't dated in a while and you've kind of have, you've been in a relationship, and now it's like, oh, I'm used to this safety of a relationship. Now I'm jumping back into the dating world. A good way to lead into it is to first recognize why your relationship worked and why it didn't work, what caused it to fail, what caused you guys to break up. Once you're kind of aware of those basic things, then I think you could jump into what are you kind of looking for in a partner, and be willing to explore and learn what other people have. So if you're rusty and you want to get back into dating, I mean, there's dating websites if that's what you want to do. There's just starting conversations. I think the best thing is to not focus on dating initially, but to focus on building female friends. Because if you just got to have a relationship, what you need now is a network of girls and guys to talk to and hang out with and spend time with. So go out and meet people, but with the intention of being their friend.